Jennifer Powers, founder and director of the Unplugged Coalition, is here with us. Very good morning to you, Jennifer.
Good morning.
I mean, it's really interesting, actually. I wasn't aware until this morning that Spain was moving in this direction too. France obviously talking about it. When did this sudden pickup in activity start? Was it actually Australia showing that it was possible?
Well, in terms of this backlash against the tech industry stealing childhood, I think that began in earnest in the UK in February of 2024. That's when the smartphone free childhood movement really burst into life. And within a few days, tens of thousands of parents had joined. And now there are more than 350,000 parents across the country who really want to reclaim childhood from the digital sphere. And then, as you say, Australia has moved first, and they've brought in restrictions for under-16s. And many other countries around the world are looking to do the same.
I mean, I guess there'd be a lot more than 350,000 that think about it, whether they've joined an official organisation or not.
Undoubtedly, millions of parents.
And what is the pros and cons of a ban? I mean, I guess the biggest thing against rushing to a ban is there is now one in place in a developed nation with similar characteristics to ours, so we can wait and assess it before what will be a big decision.
Well, I would disagree with that. I mean, it's great that they've gone ahead because we can learn from it and we can learn how to make it construct it and implement it better. But I think we know the harm that this is causing to children across the country every single day. And we don't need any more evidence to act. There is a significant and growing body of evidence that shows the harm to children across a whole range of factors. But putting all of that research to one side, I think parents and grandparents can just see the damage that it's giving to children. There's a survey of teachers, 98% support restrictions to social media, okay? This is something where there's very little dissenting opinion. And I think one of the frustrations that parents have is that this government has been dragged into doing this consultation. And the consultation is not about the details of restrictions for social media. It's about whether the government should do anything at all. And that's why the amendment that's coming back to the House of Commons in the next few weeks is such a wonderful opportunity for Parliament to take action. And so I'm, like a lot of parents across the country, really hoping that the Labour backbenchers and the Lib Dems join with the Conservatives in supporting this amendment.
Clearly there has been pushback from even the most ardent advocates of restricting what children get to see online, like Ian Russell, the father of Molly Russell. Do you get worried about where it would push children to darker places on the web?
Yeah,
factors like that?
I know. I think that's such a weak argument. And, you know, there are voices on the other side, and I think it's important we listen to them. But there are millions and millions of parents and teachers calling for action. And listen, we don't say we're not going to ban alcohol for children, because then they might do drugs. We say, no, there's a rule, there's a social norm. Some children may get around it, but on the whole, it's important we have this line in the sand. And therefore, when people say, oh, we can't have restrictions for children on social media because they may go somewhere worse, I don't think that's a strong enough objection. We need to send a very clear message, and we need to have very clear sanctions for the tech companies, if they allow children on these platforms, that these devices and these platforms are just not safe for kids.
Just finally, do you see this as something that's easy to implement?
There will be teething problems. I mean, listen, I do not think restricting children from social media is the cure-all. There is no magic wand we can wave, but I think it's a very modest and necessary step. It's one thing of many that we need to do to keep children safe. And, you know, we throw around the term a ban on social media. It's actually, in Australia, it's not a ban on children going online. It's simply restricting them from having their own accounts. They can still access the content on those platforms. They just can't have their own accounts. So I do think it's modest. I think it's realistic. I think it would help children immediately. And even if some children work around it, that doesn't mean millions and millions of children won't benefit. So, like I said, really calling on the Labour backbenchers this morning to make their voices heard with number 10 and the whips and say, no, we're not going to be bought off with this phony consultation. We want action now.
Jennifer, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.